The Enlightenment chasers. Royalties of peace. Stealing the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking onto perfect peace. How are we all doing this beautiful Wednesday of the month of September? The first Wednesday of the month of September happens to be on the 4th of September 2024. Understanding we have been on politics in the USA all this while heading to the polls very soon. Yes, we will soon be nominating the president fit to govern the United States of America. Our government is one. Parties would not divide us. Before we see the parties, before we see the political parties, we must first see the political people. We are the political people, and we must be able to establish according to the need and right of the people. And then we can see the president we really want to be our president. What is our choice is what matters first. And then we connect it to the president. So we do not fall prey of being a Republican unable to elect the president fit, or being a Democrat unable to elect the president fit. It is not about magic. It's about reasoning. It is not about traditions. It's about reasoning. We must be now expected of the mind after having higher education and great schools and universities to which the world looks up to. The United States of America is the enlightenment of the world. If we have to put a female, the first female president, we should be very, very ready to walk of expected. So we do not corrupt the work of all our forefathers of the America. It is not about the land, it is about the enlightenment. The purpose of America is not about the land, it's about reaching the greatest of enlightenment. Do not get caught up with races of color when we know we are the human race. It is very important for us to walk with our minds and not by our actions or what we feel. We walk by right and not by what we feel. It is very obvious. If it's very hot and you are outside of the house, you cannot naked yourself on the road, but you rather try to rush home the earliest possible you can to change your clothing. It is very important for us to educate the young to enable a better America tomorrow. For it is not just about a now, it's about the future. When we are thinking about election, we should think about the future. It's not just about winning right now. It's about the future along the winning. We don't want to win down and crash in the future. Let's rather take our time to enable respect on a name. Respect is very important than winning. Yes, my people, we are the world. Once you are an American, you are the world. Because today, America is not just a continent, but a universe. The whole world is America. It's time to wake up from our sleep. We must be able to define America without discrimination so that those who are involved with America will understand it's not about diversity, but unifying. We learned about Project 25. Project 2025, and it has been a topic throughout our working on making a choice of a president. Yes, while we are drawing closer to the election day, I hope we are all of better standing now. By now, we should be of better standing concerning our nominee, reflecting our future and not just our now. We are the people at work. Our nominee only reflects the work we put out. Understanding Project 2025 is of the Republican Party. It's us. There must be a people from which it is drawn out from. What is the point? If we do not agree, so what are we missing that is pulling this out of a project? Some of us may be very sensitive towards each other's party, which is why I am very focused with the center of them all, trying to discern from the center helps us work according to plan of enlightenment and not trying to divide. We're not trying to make a division of parties. We're not trying to dissolve the activists and not trying to dissolve discrimination of people to enable discrimination between parties. Understanding the Project 2025 on economics, enforcing the need to reduce free funds and encourage people to work from their own hands may be signs of giving self worth and not dependent on others, trying to make each other to be self sufficient, independent and not dependent. But unfortunately, we are faced with crisis. Yet the crisis should not limit us from seeing the abilities that we are able to enable. It's a very, very interesting strategy of keeping those healthy of expected without shying away or getting discouraged by those falling apart. Those who are able to make it should be able to make it and not feel discouraged. It's time for us to look at every party positively, and then before we can reflect of complicated solutions enabling for the complicated, which do not fall into the expected of the positive side of every political party. I hope I'm making some sense. It's very important for us to first of all address all the parties positively, and then what we cannot really buy with, we can then sort it out with solutions, not condemnation. The encouragement for people to go to school, and like trying to make people be able to pay out of their pockets. The need to reduce funds, federal funds being given to people, and rather make a United States academic that everyone can afford, even to the highest of levels of education. We do not just read only on one side, we have to read everything. We do not just hear an alarm and start complaining without knowing who is causing the alarm. The whistleblower is never really the problem, but rather where the problem is coming from. Maybe against you, but the problem must be solved. For if there is no angry man, there will be no brutalization. Even if a good one reports a criminal and becomes a mean one, yet the problem must be solved. For we need not anyone to be addressed negatively. We must sort out better strategies to encourage all to be of expected of self. We need not angry ones, we need therapy and not jails. I tried going through the project to understand what is going on. It cannot be ignored, even if it's not true, but it gives us a source from where we can start from if we have no idea what politics is all about, especially for the young just starting to get involved with politics. The 21-year who are not 50, they will not just go with their fathers because their fathers had been there. They have to be able to judge for themselves because we have to understand what our forefathers were expecting from us. Not to keep with traditions, but use reasoning, enlightenment. You may join your ancestors in doing things that are more complicated, which you could fix when they are not able to fix it. We have education. We have to be able to reason for ourselves, but politely introducing the positivity. The building of the wall is one of the plans, which may look ridiculous. But on the other side, if you think about it, it protects the young from being hurt by their parents who are trying to survive complicatedly instead of going the expected way. Some may say it's very hard to get into the United States of America, which now we should try to instead work on better ways to easy those on the other side to be able to come in legally than illegally, especially with children. We should not just say no, no, no to building a wall between two beautiful people, but rather understanding if the other have to come in but through the window, why not lock the window and make the door even wider and healthier for passage? the need for humility, humble pride. Pride is beautiful, but must be humble. Not arrogant pride, but humble pride. Immigration system to get rid of existing employment visa processes, base chain migration processes, lottery systems, replacing it with a system to award visas only to the best and brightest, gives the other countries, the immigrants, a reasoning of, if you want but our best, why not just keep our best? It's a very, very interesting way to tell people you are not coming to stay in the United States of America. You're trying to build your own. You're not moving out of your country to come and give your best in here. Why not make your best out there? If I choose to want to take your best, surely you will not come. If you're wise, you will not come. I was thinking to myself, I did not make it going to the universities in my country, which I would have really cherished to really be educated by someone from my own, which is all the same. When they learn from here and come to educate in Africa, the ones that are so capable to sit and learn and grow the land choose to leave those who have come. It's like telling them they are not even capable of teaching them. They want to go teach themselves. I've been thinking about it and really understanding what is really transpiring among us. We're not against each other. We are rather just bringing up points which we must reflect upon. Nothing is negative. It's how you walk with it. I'm like, wouldn't I make my country proud if I came out the best, lended by one who learned from here and brought the knowledge to Africa better than I coming out from America itself? Which would be better? Learning from someone who have studied here and come back to the country and taught the people and teach the people, and the people excelling are even more smarter than I, leaving and coming over, ignoring the ones who have come before me. It's time for us to really think. What is better land? What is better life? Will it be very embracing to say good morning from Africa and someone is able to say good morning back from America? What is a better life? It's not only circulating in one place, but wherever there is light, everyone there should be of enlightenment. Wherever people are living, there should be enlightenment. The only place we don't have light in is in the forests where the animals are. Being humans, we should be able to think for our own good. I recently watched a video of a sister who left and went back to Africa with her children to go and raise the children in Africa. And I was impressed. I was impressed if she knows what she's doing. Not everyone is able to do that. But for those who are able to do it and even more, why not? We will be so grateful. I will be so grateful. When the Peace Cup is even more, people from Africa, from here coming down to Africa, even much better than a white skin under the sun and dust, who is more familiar with ice. It's time for us to reason like humans. It's time for us to reason like humans, not just about, I want to live a high life. High life is beautiful. But when you are done with the journey, realizing that you've just been a gong with no sound relating to the dancing tune, You feel helpless, and all you leave behind are noises others should be able to work with and make something for you. You feel like you've been living a disabled life, even though of high life. It's time for us to help the young ones in Africa to cherish their people. Vacation in America and living in Africa could be more better than rather vacation in Africa and educating self in America. By now, we should already be of higher education. Why is Africa still limited? We are getting there, great, but this is exactly what this project 2025 is giving to me, a letter to those who call themselves helpless, that they can be helpful, they can become independent. All what is written in this project is only telling me of our ability of becoming independent without depending. Now, this excludes those with disabilities. But if you are able, there is no reason why you should be depending. You should be depending on someone else. You need to promote the youth to educate themselves to fullness. They need to promote each other of expected. Increasing schools and parental control over schools. Limiting federal school accountability and encouraging every parent to direct their child's share of public education funding, to choose a set of education options that meet their child's unique needs. Very, very productive to me, if you ask me, looking at it on the positive side. All right. But the problem I understand the democratic have is it should not be something that should be abruptly enabled. This should only give like a concern for people to start thinking, not trying to be so hard. And I even read from here that President Trump says that it is over extreme, that this project written by some important people of the United States of America, not a democratic, not about republic, not even about a party, but just the people. The people speak for the people. Must we be able to understand what we are bringing out, which is very important. I'm so glad it was brought out because it really gave an enlightenment for me to think of, wait a minute, this is not about even the parties. This is about us, the people. Is this what we really want? But why is this even being put in our face? What are we doing that is not making sense? President Trump says it is of an extreme expression of what the Republic Party is after. But now we, the people, should ask ourselves, extreme or no extreme, there can never be smoke without fire. When you see smoke, you look for the extinguisher and extinguish healthily by checking, investigating, observing. You must be vigilant at work. We must be vigilant at work. We are a people. Building the wall should not be like it's about enmity, but rather of positivity for the sake of the children. To my understanding, building the wall is for the sake of the children because people can be so tempted seeing others crossing with free arms who want to cross with their children and get hurt. And seems like the reason why they're hurt is because of those who, first of all, came up without children to cross. People dying because of those who are able to overcome and they thinking they can end up dying. bearing risk. Some are able to swim, some cannot swim. Because someone jumps into the water doesn't mean he must jump. But some are tempted to jump and drown while the others are swimming and going ahead. Why not prevent such a situation between two brothers who love themselves, or two sisters, or a family? Everything should be put positively. We love the United States of America and are so grateful to this point. Very soon, the United States of America will be 250 years and it deserves its glory. And the question to us is, for the 200 and about 50 years of this seed being planted of light, what have we done about it, of the third world country? I'm glad of how much we have really been promoting ourselves and developing. Yet I expect even better, especially from us who are in the United States of America, to impact Africa and the third world countries of expected. When we talk about the United States of America's politics, we are talking about the world. That's the amazing thing about the politics of the United States of America. No one can exclude themselves. That will be greedy. I'm glad that I'm able to be part of this election. I hope we are all doing well, reflecting on our nominee, yet it's about us. We shouldn't fail ourselves making the right choices or encouraging better choices. Peace tilts the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking unto perfect peace. Thank you for listening.